The Jefferson County Department of Community Development has continually characterized any objections by citizens to these new rules as misinformed, as being myths, and downright untruthful, creating hysteria. This really speaks ill of the attitude that our public servants hold towards the citizens that they basically serve. And in fact, just recently, Michelle McConnell from the Department of Community Development again circulated a memo through the county listserv, in other words, the county bully pulpit, again bemoaning these myths that are circulating about, when in fact these myths are legitimate public concerns expressed during an open public comment period, which is the whole point of having an open public comment period, of letting the people speak and for the public servants to listen. So this to me indicates an attempt by our local government agency to control and influence the content of public comment. It indicates to me what amounts to an attitude by our local government that the only reliable and truthful information basically comes from a state-run source, from a government source. It completely discredits the research and hard work that a lot of citizens have put into, on their own time, by the way, to participate in these issues that are going to directly affect their lives. One of the things that Michelle McConnell said in this message he sent out is, we want citizens to be informed. And I can only say that it is not what Michelle McConnell or the Department of Community Development wants. This public comment period is the chance for citizens to express themselves, and for DCD to interfere with this by saying what they want is really bordering on procedural misconduct. And I think it really discredits the people of Jefferson County. I think this whole process has really mischaracterized what the conditions really are in Jefferson County. And what we're really looking at are a bunch of environmental-minded people with environmental agendas who happen to work in public positions, who are using your taxpayer money to restrict your land, to basically pay for their salaries and to promote their own personal agendas. Because the regulations that they are proposing really are not in response to conditions or problems as they exist in Jefferson County. What these proposed regulations basically represent are general environmental ideals that, again, have nothing to do with Jefferson. I mean, just look at what we have here. Do you see shorelines that are really in imminent danger of being overdeveloped? And this, by the way, is fairly typical of conditions as they exist in a very small, sparsely populated county. So I think what really has been ignored here is a basic, fundamental, good public policy that identifies a problem and creates a corresponding solution. What we have here are an environmental agenda that have created regulations on steroids. And the end result is it's really going to impact your ability as a private landowner to use your land in a reasonable and constitutionally provided for manner. Our founding fathers and the founding principles of our country recognized the inherent ability of the people. It recognized the inherent truth barometers that people possess. It understood the wisdom of the people. And in the people, it relegated powers that demand the consent of the governed. And I think what we have here is the objection to these regulations are the people recognizing that something is not right here. The truth barometer that the people possess has recognized that something stinks in Denmark. And you know, it's not unlike the song, you know, the love song, where you just know when something is right. And you also know when somebody's been to the cheating side of town. And I think what the people of Jefferson County have recognized that these regulations are just not right. So we are really at the 11th hour here as to what we can really do to have an impact on the outcome of this. As I mentioned a little while earlier, the public comment period is open until May 11th. We have until that time to express to the Department of Ecology how we think our shorelines should be governed. Included in this will be the addresses to which you can address your comments, both by email and through a written address. So I won't cover those right now. Other things that you can also do, you can join property-minded groups like Citizens Alliance for Property Rights. Or if you don't choose to do that, even if you can donate even a small amount of money, even $10, because when push comes to shove, despite all of the legal requirements for public participation, it really appears that the Department of Ecology in Jefferson County made up their mind what they were going to do 4 years ago. So really, the only recourse that citizens of Jefferson County ultimately will have for relief will be in the courts. That's going to be expensive, and the Citizens Alliance for Property Rights has already retained an attorney, and we are presently developing some of our concerns in a comment letter which will be submitted, and we are certainly prepared to defend our rights to use our property in a reasonable and constitutional manner in court, need that be. But that, of course, is expensive, and any help that you can give us in that regard would be greatly appreciated. So really, there is something that you can do. You can make your voice be heard. You can join forces with like-minded people, and of course, we could always use some financial help too, because unfortunately, we not only have to use our own money to help finance these abuses of public offices, we also have to use own money to defend our rights. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and let's all of us stand together and try to preserve this beautiful thing that we call Jefferson County. Thank you very much.